Okay, so we're going to do the chapter summary for chapter 2. The first question it is asking is what the title of the chapter is. So I don't remember, so I'm just going to go back to page 37 in my book, find chapter 2, and the title was right here, At Howie's House. Again, we're going to make sure that everything is capitalized since it's the title. So capital A, Howie, of course that's going to be capitalized anyways because it's his name, right? Howie's house. The house belongs to Howie. That's why it's going to have that apostrophe. Okay, so the next question says, what happens in this chapter? Again, the same thing as chapter 1 when we did this. We can't include every single page. There's so much that happened in this chapter, but we're just going to include the major parts. So what were the main things that stood out in this chapter? One of the main things is that Ramona's class starts DEAR, that DEAR program, DEAR. We call it SSR, right? And that's kind of what Ramona actually likes to call it better anyways, because she thinks it sounds really grown up. So let's begin with that. Ramona Ramona's class starts DEAR. Then what happens next? Well, she has her school, and then after school, like she does many days, right? After school, she goes to Willa Jean's house. And then when she goes to Willa Jean's house, she ends up playing with Willa Jean and Bruce. Remember, one of Willa Jean's classmates, Bruce, comes over to play as well. So let me write that. So she's playing with Willa Jean and Bruce because she has to, right? But then she discovers that her sister doesn't have to play with them because she has so much work. And really, Ramona just wants to read her new book that she has. So she ends up tricking Willa Jean and says that she has to read so she can't play. So in the end, we're going to just write, she tricks Willa Jean and gets to read. So this is the perfect place to pause if you didn't catch up with all this work. So pause right here. Okay, I'm going to continue. What is your favorite part of this section of the book? Again, this section is just this chapter, chapter 2. So what's your favorite part of chapter 2? Not of chapter 1, we already talked about that. Chapter 2. This is going to be different for everyone, so don't worry if you have a different answer than someone else maybe you're talking to, or even if your mom and dad are reading with you, they might have a different favorite part. So write your favorite part, but I'll start the sentence for you. My favorite part of section 2 was, or chapter 2, and then you get to fill it out. Remember your period. What new words did you learn this chapter? Again, we can go back to our chapter 2 dictionary detective page, and this is going to tell us those words that we learned, or you can make up your own words, but I would like 3 words, at least 3. You can put more if you want, but at least 3 new words that you learned from this chapter. Lastly, draw a picture of something you think represents this chapter. I'm thinking either a book or a bicycle because she rides the bike, or she sees Howie riding the bike with his friends. So we can draw a picture of a bike, or we could draw a picture of a book because she starts her DEAR program or SSR, or you could draw a picture of Willa Jean. Totally up to you. I'm going to draw my little book. Okay, so that's all for chapter 2 summary. And again, this chapter 2 summary really does help with your understanding of the story that you'll have do later and that you're going to do independently. Now, not all of the specific answers can be found on here. So if you forget something, no big deal. You have your book and go back to chapter 2 and reread part of it. Okay, that's it, you guys.